Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Crypto Ginger here. Just wanted to take a quick moment with this video and kind of show you some information, some articles that kind of are like a chain of event things taking place. And with all the news that's coming out, the way it's coming out, and the time frame of when it's coming out, it's actually kind of exposing some information, at least to me, the way I'm seeing this, that there's a bigger picture here involved with how many banks and financial institutions and even countries are looking to get themselves into the cryptocurrency space. And I'm saying it in the fact that this is kind of like this weird turn of events. We're seeing news announcements coming out in a timely fashion. For example, in August 10th, just a couple weeks ago, we got reference from the UK Financial Conduct Authority that they do not consider Ripple's XRP to be a security. This is big news because the United States, for example, is waiting for the SEC to make some sort of clarification on XRP as well. And in most cases, so far, it's been seen that the United States is kind of falling behind when it comes to regulatory clarity. A lot of other countries are already moving ahead when it comes to their version of clarity for different types of cryptocurrencies and digital assets, such as XRP. So, keeping all that in mind, guys, we have the UK already looking at Ripple's XRP as not being a security, and I think that that's important. You mix this information up with what recently took place, especially with Mark Carney doing his recent interview. As a matter of fact, Stuart XRP, who is definitely a prominent follower of someone in the XRP community, I would definitely suggest anyone following this guy here because he likes to put a lot of really good information out there to the public about XRP. But nonetheless, guys, he summarized up the interview between CNBC and Mark Carney, who is the governor of the Bank of England. And basically, he kind of emphasized the most important part about this interview, and it is that what is mentioned here from Mark Carney is that there is a reliance on the US dollar reserve that is becoming a lot riskier than what it needs to be. And he's kind of proposing this idea for a new digital currency to replace it. Now, obviously, anybody can speculate what kind of digital currency would replace the US dollar as a reliance. And of course, most people are looking at things such as stable coins, which could be an answer for sure. Others that are, for example, in the XRP community are looking at XRP as the answer, since Ripple has been working hand in hand with a lot of banks and financial institutions. So you can kind of make your own speculation as to what it's going to be. But again, we're seeing the timing of all this information, this news coming out regarding cryptocurrencies, but more importantly, when it comes to things such as XRP, there is a very strong focus from a lot of those countries like the UK, and of course we have again people from the Bank of England who are looking at cryptocurrencies to replace the US dollar. Guys, you can kind of do the math here and figure out, hey, there's going to be something working together with a lot of these digital cryptocurrencies, whether they have a strong focus on one over the other. It does not matter. We're seeing banks looking at cryptocurrencies as an answer to replace the US dollar. So very, very, very important here. Again, we're just seeing momentum happening. We're seeing a lot of news of banks getting themselves more immersed into the cryptocurrency market because of news that we're hearing about different types of regulatory clarity happening. So again, just more information to kind of like take into consideration here. Obviously, you can kind of go through here with Stuart's Twitter handle and kind of look at all the comments that were actually made. A lot of really good information when it comes to people in the XRP community kind of linking as to why they believe XRP would be the answer for these banks. Again, if you have any understanding about Ripple, them working hand in hand with a bunch of banks across the world, their objective, their goal is to have as many banks and financial institutions on board with RippleNet, take advantage of their products. More importantly, XRapid, which makes a use case out of XRP. That right there would, at some point in time, solve a lot of those banking issues there, at least when you do a deep dive on how effective XRP could be for these banks. So again, guys, it's kind of the timing of everything. Now, with this being said here, again, this is a very big move for the Bank of England here, looking at a new way to have a reserve currency in the form of a digital currency here. So whether or not they choose XRP or whether or not they choose a stable coin or some other favored digital asset out there is still, I would imagine, remains to be seen. But we can easily see that, again, they are definitely looking at a digital currency for an answer here. Now, interesting enough, you mix this information up now with some more information we were getting about other banks. For example, Here we have another bank. This is actually a German bank called WEG Bank, and they are now licensed to trade and hold cryptocurrencies for their clients in Estonia. Now, I'm bringing this to everyone's attention because this right here is a very big move when it comes to a bank being able to not only hold cryptocurrencies as a custody, but it allows their clients and customers to trade. Guys, this is a bank that is allowing for trades and holding of cryptocurrencies. This is fantastic. This is basically a bank acting as an exchange, if you will. And of course, this right here is another big move when it comes to another bank getting themselves onboarded with cryptocurrencies. And this actually just recently took place. I actually posted this as a reference on the 26th of this month. So again, the timing of everything we're seeing here is pretty interesting. The August 10th is when we heard about the UK again looking at XRP as being not a security. Then August 23rd, we see Mark Carney come out. August 26th, now we're seeing information about a German bank wanting to actually hold and actually allow for trading of cryptocurrencies. So you can see how the flow of all this is actually coming about now. Now, of course, I got a couple more examples I want to go over just as well. Here's yet another example of a bank getting themselves immersed into the cryptocurrency ecosystem, and this happens to be the Central Bank of Brazil. So a very big bank, guys, the central bank. And of course, what they're doing is looking to adopt IMF guidelines for classifying cryptocurrencies as goods. Now, guys, this is information that was actually summarized very nicely by XRP Crypto Wolf, another prominent follow when it comes to the XRP community. Definitely give them a follow. But this is linked from an article from Cointelegraph that talks about again that Brazil's central bank adopts IMF guidelines for crypto classification. Now, the way it was summarized here from XRP Crypto Wolf is done pretty nicely. He says that they're recognizing crypto as property, which makes them eligible to be used as payment mechanisms. That's very big. And of course, he wanted to make sure that we're all completely aware that Ripple's new office is in Brazil, right alongside of the fact that they have an XRP X Rapid corridor for that area. So guys, this is absolutely huge, and I'm just trying to show you the links that are happening. Ripple has been way ahead of the game when it comes to them being part of the ecosystem, trying to get banks and financial institutions on board for quite some time. And this right here, again, it's not to hint that Ripple is actually involved with the Central Bank of Brazil, getting themselves into the cryptocurrency ecosystem. It's just showing that they were already ahead of the game, just in the case that banks in Brazil wanted to take that approach. And of course, we're seeing the Central Bank of Brazil adopting IMF guidelines. Guys, who has worked with the IMF, at least had some sort of dealings with them? Ripple, the company, people in Ripple. So you can see how closely related a lot of this information is here. So again, more banks are getting themselves immersed into this ecosystem at a very rapid pace. And guys, time frame of this right here, this is on the 26th of August as well. So here, again, the timing of all this information that's coming out is very, very important when it comes to what we're going to be seeing, again, going into quarter 4 of 2019, leading right into 2020, and so on. So just another example. I have one more example I want to show you guys. Again, all this is very important when it comes to what's happening for this entire ecosystem and seeing these banks getting immersed into this particular ecosystem just as well. So here we have an article that was actually linked by Anthony Pompliano, if you're not familiar with him, which you should be by now, but this guy is one of the biggest Bitcoin maximalists out there. A very good, outspoken person when it comes to the whole entire cryptocurrency community on Twitter. Definitely someone I would suggest following because he's very smart, and he's someone who's actually been on CNBC, I believe, when he's speaking about cryptocurrencies to the public, and he's very knowledgeable about that. He actually had a debate, I believe, with Peter Schiff, who is a gold person, a gold bug. So that was definitely interesting as well. But nonetheless, he actually posts reference of a link here from Forbes talking about Alibaba, Tencent, and 5 others to receive first Chinese government cryptocurrency. Guys, this right here is absolutely huge. You can see, again, not only banks and central banks getting themselves immersed into the cryptocurrency ecosystem, but countries. And this right here is a very big move when it comes to the amount of entities and companies, these big tech conglomerates that are part of these countries, again, like Alibaba and Tencent. These are countries that are going to be able to impact those businesses by getting themselves immersed into the cryptocurrency ecosystem. Now we're seeing the Chinese government looking at cryptocurrencies as an answer here. You can take a quick look at this Forbes article. I would definitely suggest reading any and all of this information, but I'm just showing you guys very quickly how this right here is adding up and it's ramping up very, very fast, very quickly. And of course, guys, I would imagine we're going to start seeing a lot more talking points, more articles, news coming out as far as announcements for banks, and again, more financial institutions, and now governments of countries getting themselves very, very, very involved with cryptocurrencies. So this right here is a very big move. I might take some time to do another video when it comes to this particular article here, talking about these big conglomerate companies in China, again, looking at having a state-backed cryptocurrency, and of course coming from China's central bank. So another central bank, guys. You can see how big this is going to be if all these banks across the globe get themselves involved. So just a lot of information coming at you all at once, guys. I definitely apologize for that, but I just want to let you know that some big moves are happening here. And I want to end this video on something I thought was extremely important when it comes to someone of importance in this entire ecosystem, especially with the Ripple company. And that is Brad Garlinghouse. He actually came to Twitter just the other day to post something I think, again, is very important. I just kind of want to end this video off on that. So here is the recent tweet that Brad Garlinghouse posted, and of course, if you are on Twitter and you're not following him, I would definitely suggest giving him a follow. He really is one of the smarter, more genuine type of people when it comes to this cryptocurrency ecosystem, especially being a CEO of a major company such as Ripple. So definitely give him a follow here. But what he says has a lot of importance here. I'm going to kind of quickly go over this. He says that he's always struck by questionable sources, especially when it comes to spreading FUD about XRP and Ripple, even more so over the last few weeks. And of course, he feels compelled to comment. So he goes further to state that as a defendant in the class action lawsuit, he won't go into details, and rightfully so. However, he will say that the SEC guidance isn't issued by the commission and isn't law, rule, or regulation. It's clear XRP is not a security, and the UK and others have said as much. 2. XRP sales are about helping expand XRP's utility, building RippleNet, and supporting other businesses, and building XRP. And of course, he gives an example with Dharma and Forte. Then he says that reality is we decreased our sales by volume, and since then, inflation rate of XRP circulation supply has been lower than that of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Then lastly, he says that Ripple continues to set industry standards in reporting and transparency. We lay it all out, and it's not our views, but facts. And of course, guys, he links an article kind of, illustrating this information here. But the idea here is that this guy right here is kind of spilling it out the way it should be. Again, he is the CEO of one of the biggest prominent companies in the cryptocurrency space, Ripple, and he's been working hand in hand directly with some of the more prominent people across the globe when it comes to banks and financial institutions. Why wouldn't he know about this information before anybody else? It's because he is knowing this information. He is being told this information. And of course, I would imagine that is what's letting him and his company move forward at the rate that they're moving. So a lot to take in consideration, guys. I understand this is me cramming a lot of information, but I just wanted you to see the bigger picture, because this right here isn't going to stop. And these banks and financial institutions are not going to miss their opportunity to make some money, or at least control the flow of some sort of capital when it comes to money moving all across the globe here in the fashion of internet of value, which is really something that is the supporting motto behind Ripple, the company. So again, a lot of things to keep in mind, guys. I know that there's a lot of information that I've missed when it comes to what's happening and things ramping up. If you want to leave more information in the comment section that we can all build off of and create a really nice dialogue on, please leave that information in the comment section for sure. I love getting that information. A lot of people in the XRP community love reading that just as well. So again, leave that information, what you think about this particular video, these banks getting themselves immersed into the cryptocurrency ecosystem. And of course, again, if you have anything that I've missed that you'd like for me to expand upon, leave that in the comment section just as well. And for those of you guys who are brand new to this channel, please hit the like and subscribe button if you like what you see here. And of course, share this content with as many people as you can, because early adopters are the ones that are actually going to benefit the very most when it comes to this thing exploding as far as this new digital realm. So again, let me know what you guys think about all this information, guys, and be on the lookout for another video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.